And thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to discuss whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here for you to discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about those things which concern you. So we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution page of our website at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, we thank you for your support and your commitment as we fulfill our commitment that you will have a place to hear from God. Whatever God speaks to me concerning your communications, I will speak to you on subsequent broadcasts. So thank you for tuning in. We are live here in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. But before I do that, I want to remind everyone that today is the big day. So first of all, let me remind everyone that we are Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and now on RadioFreeNetwork.com. You can go to www.radiofreenetwork.com. You can click on radio, and when the drop box appears, click on New Life. You can view all of our broadcasts every day, Sunday through Friday, right here on RadioFreeNetwork.com. So I want to make this announcement today. As you know, today is the day that we will be announcing the winner of our nutrition counseling promo that has been going on for the month of June. And as I indicated to everyone, so be aware that we have a procedure for selecting a winner. And we now have a winner for the nutritional promo with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who will be with us tomorrow right here on the air, as she is our monthly contributor every first Thursday of the month. So we have selected a winner of all of our participants in the nutrition counseling promotion that, of course, is brought to you by Fiji Water. Our winner for today, drum roll please, no. Our winner for this nutrition counseling promo is Mrs. Anna Lee. We don't have the fake clap, so I'll do the clap for us. Mrs. Anna Lee is the winner of the nutrition counseling promo with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, right here in 3D. So what's going to happen now, and Becca is excited to get started. What's going to happen now is that Miss Anna Lee is going to receive her initial assessment and initial counseling session with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. And she will then have a counseling session, a nutrition counseling session once per month for the remainder of this year. And then we're going to invite Miss Anna Lee to come on to the broadcast the first Thursday of January along with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, to talk about her experience and the progress that she's made with her health and wellness for the next 6 months until the end of this year. So congratulations to Mrs. Anna Lee for becoming the first winner of the Nutrition Counseling promo brought to you by Fiji Water at FijiWater.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband suffers from road rage and it gets so bad that you are concerned for his safety. However, you're not certain how to address the problem. So let me begin by saying this. This is not just a road rage issue. I was prayerful about this, and God allowed me to see in that secret place of your lives. Your husband has anger management issues. Now, you don't recognize that because he's never been violent with you, but he has been angry. And you've seen how his anger plays out. And now, because of what we now have identified as road rage, you understand that he's got anger issues. So you're seeing them played out in a different way now, and that's outside of your home, where he doesn't just get angry and pout, for lack of a better term. He doesn't just get angry and shut down. He just, now because it's become road rage, you're seeing it acted out. And you have a reason to be concerned for his safety. So what he's going to find necessary to do is to develop anger management skills. Now, that's something that can be addressed on our own if we're willing to address the issue. That's something that can be addressed if we have the skills to address our anger. He may need some additional support from a therapist. However, I'm going to give you some tools that you can use that will help to identify triggers, that will help him to manage his anger so that it doesn't become a safety issue. And then as you share those things with him, or if you encourage him to watch the broadcast, which I encourage you to do, if you encourage him to watch the broadcast, he will be able to unpack some of these issues and basically improve the quality of his life. So let's talk about this first of all. Let's talk about anger/conflict resolution. So your husband doesn't do very well with conflict. He becomes angry and he lashes out. It leads to not physical confrontation at this point in his life, but it leads to verbal assault, for lack of a better term. It leads to cursing. It leads to, saying things that he'll never be able to take back. But he doesn't think about those things. So there's a couple of things, and I'm going to talk about the spiritual component along with the lifestyle component. So the fact of the matter is that anger is a quality that does not accomplish anything unless it is done in righteousness. Meaning if it's done the right way. Okay, so if someone were to harm you or your family, then he has a right to be angry and he has a right to defend his family. But anything else outside of that, there's no reason or no benefit to displaying anger even if you become angry. So you have to be able to manage that. And the way that you manage that is, there's two components to that. The way that you manage that is you recognize that nothing good is going to come from a display of anger. You're not going to there's never going to be any progress made, and there's never going to be any productivity made when we display anger. That's the first thing. From a spiritual perspective, we have to realize that if we're angry and we act out our anger, that it's not acceptable to God. And certainly cursing people out or saying things that are offensive that are never going to encourage anyone, inspire anyone to be a better version of themselves, that's not acceptable. So one of the things that I like to live by, and I like to encourage others to live by, is that before you say anything, it needs to go from your mouth past God's ear first, before it ever gets to the intended party. So you have to say to yourself, is what I'm about to say going to be acceptable to God? Is it going to be acceptable to God? Because if it's not going to be acceptable to God and it's not going to be pleasing unto him, then there's no point in me saying it. So what that does is slow you down. It slows you down to realize that you can manage whatever anger you might be feeling at the moment. Now, anger is an emotion. And one of the things that I encourage people to do when you get to a point where you find yourself over being come with anger, you have to take your emotions out of the equation and you have to say, what is this going to accomplish? What is my anger going to accomplish? Now, he's acting out with road rage. So you have seen him blow his horn, you've seen him roll down the window and curse people out, you've seen him cut people off, and you are correct, that is going to lead to a safety issue. And the fact that he's doing it with you and children in the car, not only is he putting himself in danger, but he's also putting his family in danger. And the fact that, watch this, that your children are in the car, he's now teaching them how to behave when they become angry. So we have to recognize how important anger management truly is. So I'm no different than anyone else, and I can tell you that when I was young, I had a very, very bad temper. I inherited it from my father. My father was, everyone liked my father, one of the nicest people that you would ever want to know, until he got angry. And the moment he became angry, everything else changed. He was never violent towards myself or my sibling, but he could become very angry and display his violence if someone pushed him that far. Now, having said that, as a child, never saw many displays of it, saw a few of them, that was enough for me. Never saw many displays of anger, but it was enough for me to realize that he's not to be played with. He's not to be upset and cause him to go over the edge in his anger. Well, as a child, I developed the same tendencies, because even though I only saw a few instances of it, I saw a few instances of it and adopted the same behavior. We learn from our parents. So the fact that your children are in the car when he's doing this tells me that they're going to develop similar characteristics. He needs to be aware of that. So he's going to have to develop the skills necessary to manage his anger so that he's not becoming involved in road rage that's going to lead to something that's going to be a safety issue or detrimental to your family. If it becomes a safety issue for your husband, it's going to have an impact on the quality of your lives. And that's what we cannot afford to experience. We do not want, listen, life is going to happen to us all. We do not want to be the cause of life happening to us. We don't want to be the cause of our peace being disrupted, the quality of our lives being disrupted. So he's going to have to really make some decisions about his anger. And he's going to have to say within himself, there is nothing more important than my family. There's nothing more important to me than, first of all, pleasing God, and second of all, my family and loved ones. Nothing more important. All the outside interferences, all of the negativity in the atmosphere, none of that's important to me. He's got to make that decision. And those are skills that allow us to manage our lifestyle, manage our anger so that we can manage our lifestyle. If he's not able to after listening to this segment of the broadcast, he can feel free to communicate with me at newlifepastor@comcast.net. But if he's not able to manage his anger, he may need the assistance of a therapist to unpack some of the baggage that he's carrying around. You know, we all have baggage. The question is, do we put our baggage away and continue living life, or do we continue going through life carrying our baggage with us? And the more we carry our baggage with us, the more exhausted we're going to become. And the more exhausted we become, the more possibilities arise that we will then begin to display our anger or display our inability to manage our lifestyle. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most dependable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most dependable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most dependable 5G provider at no extra charge. So congratulations to Ms. Anna Lee, who is the winner of our nutrition counseling promotion right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. Ms. Anna Lee has won the competition with 73 points. She has won the competition and will now receive monthly nutrition counseling with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com. So we're going to get started. Becca will be with us tomorrow right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. She is our monthly contributor for Health and Wellness segment right here in 3D, and she will be with us the first Thursday of she will continue being with us at least the first Thursday of every month. So for the remainder of this year, she will work with Miss Anna Lee. She will provide nutrition counseling the first week of every month, and Rebecca will make herself available for email support for the remainder of this year. And then at the end of the year, the first Thursday of January, we're going to bring Miss Anna Lee on the broadcast with us to discuss her progress and to discuss how her life has been, the quality of her life has been enhanced in her health and wellness by working with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are tired of living the way that you have been living. You have followed the path of your family, and that path has been all your life. You've been on that path all your life. However, it never leads to a better place, and you want to make change. So this is very interesting because, you know, we were having a conversation in the gym this morning about making change in our workout. That's a simple example. We've made some changes, and a few of us have made changes in the way we work out and the exercises that we're doing, the weight training that we're doing. You've got to modify some things. You've got to increase rate. You find, I'm taking you someplace, so I want everyone to go along with me. So you find where you feel comfortable doing your max limit of reps on each weight training exercise. And then from time to time, you have to increase the weight, do less reps. So today was a day when we increased some weight, but at the same time, we lowered our reps. We started out doing a couple of sets at our normal reps and normal weight, and then we increased the weight, did less reps, because your body has to be challenged. And then we moved to another weight training exercise, and we went, that's one that we're doing this week. Next week we'll go back to the one we were doing last week. So you make some changes. And then, of course, when it was time to do one weight training exercise, someone else was on that particular, on the leg press. So I ended up going over and doing some squats. And then, of course, when I did all my sets of squats, and of course they then were done on the previous one that I wanted to do anyway. So I then went back and did that one. So now what's happened is I've increased my leg exercises. And I'm saying all of that to say you have to be willing to make some changes to get different results. And you've identified the fact that your family has always lived one way. They have always lived one way. And because they've been very close-knit, and because, when I say that, I mean around one another all the time, they think they have it going on because they're all living every day and doing the things they want to do, but you now know that they're not accomplishing the fullness of God. They're not maximizing their success. And you want to make change. And that's a great thing. But what you're going to have to do, what you're going to find necessary, is to be around different people who are going to challenge you to do more than you've always done. See how I'm getting back to the weight training aspect? You do more than you've always done to enhance the quality of your life, whether it's body, mind, or spirit. And in your case, you want to make change. You're tired of living the way your family's always lived. So what you've got to do is you've got to surround yourself or get in the presence of other people who are doing great things, who have a better quality of life than you have. And you have to recognize that there are people out there who have a better quality of life than you are enjoying right now. Doesn't imply, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers, doesn't imply you're not having a good quality of life right now. Now, in our listener and viewer's case, she realizes that she's not having the quality of life that she would like to have. But for those of you who have a good quality of life, it doesn't imply you don't have a good quality of life, but there are other people out there doing things differently that have provided them with a better quality of life. They're maximizing their success. So what you have to do, and this is for our listener and viewer who sent in this communication, you've got to identify people who have a better quality of life than you have. And then you have to emulate what they're doing. Now, I'm not talking about people who are in the world doing what the world would have them to do. I'm talking about body, mind, and spirit. People who are focused on their health and wellness, people who are focused on maximizing the gift of the mind, maximizing their neural skills, their neurological skills, people who have a different mindset about success, about maximizing their success. Those are the people you want to be around. Those people who are having a better quality of life in their spirit, they're spiritually. Now, I know you think that, you've been around some spiritual people all your life, but you have to ask yourself, how's that been working for you? Because if you've been around those people all your life, and you today, on June 30th, 2021, and you sent in the communication 10 days ago, but you know today that you're not having the quality of life that you desire to have. You have to set all of that aside, what you've been doing, and you've got to do something different. You've got to look at those people who are having a better quality of life, both in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm, and you have to emulate them. And how do you know when someone is having a better quality of life in the spiritual realm? Watch this. When they have a better quality of life in the spiritual realm, the Bible says when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, you will have power. When you see someone that has the power of God evident in their life, you need to emulate what they're doing. You need to emulate what they're doing from a personal aspect. You need to emulate what they're doing from a financial aspect. You need to emulate what they're doing from a spiritual aspect. Because at the end of the day, they have a better quality of life. And you know that what you've been doing isn't working. The way you've been doing it isn't working because you've been following your family. But I'm just going to keep it real when I say this, with no offense intended. Well, I'll use a different analogy. You want to soar like an eagle. You don't want to bounce like a turkey. You want a better quality of life, and it is there for the experience. If you just begin to do things differently and emulate those who are having a better quality of life than you're having today. Not trying to keep up with the Joneses, just trying to emulate what those are doing, those who walk before you, what they're doing and what they're experiencing. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Warrior Custom Golf. Times have changed at warriorcustomgolf.com. There's no need to spend big money for great quality golf clubs. Warrior Custom Golf believes you should have the ultimate experience with quality golf, playing golf, learning the game of golf, enjoying the game of golf, experiencing the game of golf with quality golf clubs that don't break the bank. Go to warriorcustomgolf.com. You can order, if you're a golfer like myself or you know someone, have a loved one who's a golfer, you can order custom golf clubs from warriorcustomgolf.com and enjoy and experience and enjoy the game of golf without breaking the bank. warriorcustomgolf.com. And Charles Tyrwhitt, which has all the golf attire and accessories, clothing that you could possibly need. Charles Tyrwhitt is located in London, the UK. They have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C. If you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. Go to the search bar at ctshirts.com and type in the word golf. You will see everything that Charles Tyrwhitt has to offer for a golf experience. I'm going to announce before the end of the broadcast our winner for the nutrition counseling promo sponsored by FijiWater.com. Miss Anna Lee, who has won nutrition counseling with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who will be with us tomorrow right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. She is here with us the first Thursday of every month. You can go to her website at BeccaTheDietitian.com. You can see all of the programs that she offers. You can look at her blog. You can see all of the previous broadcasts that she has been on in her media section on her website. You can see all of the insurances that she is now accepting at BeccaTheDietitian.com. So what she's going to be doing with Miss Anna Lee is working with her to enhance her health and wellness. So she will receive, Miss Anna Lee will receive her first initial nutrition counseling session with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com. And then every month she will receive a nutrition counseling session with BeccaTheDietitian.com. And Becca will make herself available by email for email support throughout the year. At the end of the year, we're going to bring Miss Anna Lee onto the broadcast the first week of January and ask her to share with us her experience and how her health and wellness has been enhanced over the next 6 months as she receives nutrition counseling from Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. RebeccaTheDietitian.com will be with us tomorrow, first Thursday of the month of July. She's our monthly contributor. We have all your questions for RebeccaTheDietitian.com. So we look forward to you being with us tomorrow. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast, 3D, is brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe